What's up, Knicks fans? Welcome into a Knicks game preview. The Knicks and Timberwolves tip off in about an hour. Decided to come on here and chop it up with you guys before the game and talk about this really anticipated game. Knicks versus Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns going back to Minnesota. We're already seeing some videos, some pictures of him with the fans, with the crowd. It's so great that he's extremely cherished over there. And it's a testament to his impact both on and off the court. And I'm just so glad Karl-Anthony Towns is one of us. I'm sure he's going to get a rounding ovation. I'm sure they're going to do a massive video tribute for Karl-Anthony Towns. So it's pretty cool. But Knicks Timberwolves, look, we circled this date on this calendar for a while now. A couple of Knicks notes. Josh Hart is out tonight. Josh Hart is out tonight. Appreciate every single one of you in there. Yuri, what's going on? This Rover. Early start. Yo, Alpha, what's going on? Yeah, this game preview. Look, this game is not, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so this game is not going to end till about like 12 a.m. Eastern time. So I thought, let me just go on before the game. Not sure if there's going to be a post game, but appreciate every single one of you hopping in here, though. But yeah, Josh Hart out. So Josh Hart is out tonight due to personal reasons. That is the major news coming out within the last. He was downgraded to questionable this late afternoon for personal reasons, and Tom Thibodeau just ruled him out. Not sure who the New York Knicks are going to start. Tom Thibodeau still hasn't decided yet, but there's a boatload of options. You can obviously start Precious. You can go Jericho Sims. If you want to go small, I think Pat Home is with the team. I think he is with the team, but I'm not sure. But if he is with the team, he will play. I believe so. But Josh Hart is out. So hope everything is well regarding Josh Hart. It is personal news. I'm not sure what is going on, but that just came out of the blue. So never want to see that. Hopefully everything is okay with Josh Hart. But guys, the game is here. The game has finally arrived. Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo versus their former team. It's time. It's time. I've been waiting for this one. I have been. This was going to be fun. So Knicks, Timberwolves. Knicks, obviously, one of the best offenses in the NBA. Timberwolves have actually been playing well defensively over their last 6 or so-ish games. Once again, it's been against some, not so elite competition, but still they're playing well defensively. Knicks, 116.4 points per game. Timberwolves only 109.8. Rebounding is pretty similar. Assist, Knicks have an edge on them. Blocks, similar. Turnovers, Timberwolves turn the ball over a lot. That's 15 turnovers compared to 12. 49% from the field. The Knicks are shooting 39% from 3, 80% from the free throw line. Look, if you're just looking at this game on paper, right? If you're just looking at this game on paper, look, Knicks, they're the better team. Right now they're without Josh Hart. Obviously, that's a blow. But this is a very emotional game. Like, you have to factor that in as well. You have Julius Randle said yesterday that this just another game. Like, he's 30 years old. He's moving on. It doesn't matter that the Knicks traded him. He doesn't have some type of vendetta against the New York Knicks. And I think that's total BS, in my opinion. I think he's going to come out tonight with aggression. He always plays well against Karl-Anthony Towns. So I think he's going to play well tonight with Donte DiVincenzo. Donte's been struggling for them. But look, throw that all out the window. They're facing their former team. So I expect those guys to to pretty much play well, but the Josh Hart injury, not injury, the person, him being out kind of, it's a damper for the Knicks. He's one of their best rebounders, and he's played extremely well for them. So once again, we're just waiting to see if who Tom Thibodeau goes in a starting lineup. I'm not sure if we're going to get that during this stream. I hope so, and I'm pretty sure we will. But do you go big? Do you start Jericho Sims? Because, Sims alongside Karl-Anthony Towns. Do you start Precious alongside Towns? It's interesting. Do you start Deuce? You put Deuce in there, and they have a small lineup. So it's interesting. Very interesting. Keith, what's going on? Appreciate every single one of you in here. Nostalgic, what's going on? Just chopping it up, pre-game before the big Knicks Timberwolves game in Minnesota. It snowed in Minnesota today, actually. So, look, I'm hyped for this game. Nostalgic says Precious. Nah, start. Yuri says Ariel Hukporti. Tish Rover says starting Sims. Oh, God. Then Dish Rover says those two are about to drop a 40 piece. Yeah, look, you say oh God, but Sims alongside Towns, I like it. And the numbers show behind the scenes, the analytics show that it's a pretty good lineup, but I don't think Tom Thibodeau goes that route. I think if I was to guess, man, Josh Hart being out, Brunson, Mikal, OG, and I know Tom Thibodeau loves that Deuce McBride, Jalen Brunson lineup. I know he loves that lineup. So I would lean towards that. Or if he wants to go the Precious route, he can. But I would lean towards Deuce because Deuce has started in the past. And I know I wouldn't really touch the bench, though, because Deuce and Campaign have kind of formed some chemistry here. But, hey, it's the circumstances that you're dealing with, and you have to adjust on the fly. And like we said, we hope everything is well with Josh Hart. But once again, Josh Hart is out if you're just joining us tonight. So tonight should be a great game. Look, points in the paint, 49-43. Look, the Timberwolves, I know they've been playing well. Over these last, 6 or 7 games. They've kind of found their footing. But they could be had. They can easily be had. But it's going to be a tough game on the road. This is not no gimme. But I feel like what this Knicks team has shown us, right, is that they get up for the challenge. They get up for these challenges. And they get up for these big games. You go to the Denver game. They blew them out the window. You go to the Phoenix game. Blew them out the window. The Orlando game in New York. Blew them out the window. Yes, they kind of have these stinkers here, like the Hawks game last 2 games ago. But these Knicks get up for these big moments. And they haven't lost. They've only lost a back-to-back game once this year. Coming off a big win in Orlando. The guys should be refreshed. Guys should be rested. So it's going to be a great game. I got a poll in the YouTube chat. Who do you guys think is going to be the X factor tonight? 14 votes on that. Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Make sure you vote on that. Right now, Mikal Bridges is winning that poll. So, the Castro. What's going on, Castro? Ready for tonight's game, man. Ready for tonight's game. Nostalgic says, hey, Ant, can you do more pre-games? Ooh, pre-games and post-games, Nostalgic? We'll see. Thumbs up if you guys want me to do more pre-games. Thumbs up if you guys want me to do more pre-games. I'll think about it. Precious says Nostalgic says Precious is guarding Randall. That's another wrinkle. You could have Precious in the starting lineup and have him guard Julius Randle. And we know Precious to be solid defender, knows Randall's game in and out. Randall's still going to get his points. He's still going to be aggressive. But that's another avenue where the Knicks can go. They can pretty much go that route. And look, it's either Precious or Deuce, right? And I think you got me thinking now. I think it will be Precious. I'm trying to see if we can get some updates right now on Twitter. You got me thinking. Most likely Precious starting. I can see Precious starting. This game is where you want Thibs to use Cat almost like the first option to lure defenders, so guys like OG, Mikal, and even JB can get going early. Yeah, look, there's no question Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be pumped up for tonight's game. Emotional game. He said before the game, this is not a normal game. This is not your typical Knicks Hornets on a Tuesday night. This is him. He's played in Minnesota for his entire career. They, in a blink of an eye, traded him. And look, I'm sure. Look, right now he's on the court signing a bunch of autographs. But I'm sure when the ball is going to get tipped up, when that clock is at 12 minutes and, everyone says their hellos, like, what up, what up, what up, I'm sure Cat's going to be locked in, and I'm sure he's going to have a big game. But here's Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, just look at the mob around him. He is super loved in Minnesota. And once again, a testament to his character, a testament to the player and he gives back to the community. And this is all factored in here. Towns is an amazing human being. And the Minnesota Timberwolves fans love him. And I'm just happy that he's on our side now. But I'm expecting a huge, huge game from Towns. He could be jittery to start. That's something to watch, right? Towns could be jittery, could be nervous. Not nervous, but, he could have some butterflies, But I expect our captain to lead us, and it should be a good one at the end of the day. It should be a good one. But without Josh Hart, it's going to be tough. But you can see Cat. I mean, it's just super, just being loved right now in Minnesota. Just being loved. Nostalgia says bad choice starting Deuce. Yeah, I mean, when I said it, when it came out of my mouth, look, I love the Deuce McBride and Jalen Brunson lineups, and the numbers back it up. Last year, they were amazing together. And you know how Tom Thibodeau is in terms of that, the analytics and whatnot, and he just likes going to what he has seen. So, but the smart thing would be to start Precious, in my opinion, because you could put him on Randall. And it's not just Precious. You could put on Randall. You could put OG can guard Julius Randle. But that allows OG to kind of guard Anthony Edwards and Mikal and him to switch off pick and rolls. That kind of allows OG and Mikal to switch. And Precious as well. Precious is a great defender in terms of, he's quick with his feet. One-on-one defense, he can switch. Very switchable. And I think he does go that route. Now, once again, I am just guessing, but I do think ultimately that's what Tom Thibodeau goes with. But yeah, but I want to see some Daddy, right? I want to see some Pack Home tonight. I think he got recalled today. Once again, I'm pretty sure he's with the team. I think he's got recalled. He's been with Westchester. He's been playing well in Westchester. So if he's available, play him, Thibs. Play him. But it should be a good one. All hands on deck because Hart does everything for this team. Does everything. Pushes the pace, rebounding. So adding Precious in that starting lineup, in my opinion, will help the rebounding. And it will shore up the defense. And the offense, you already know, it will. I mean, you got Cat, JB, OG, and Mikal. It'll be fine. The offense will be fine. Appreciate every single one of you. Knicks game preview. Game is starting in about 45-ish minutes. Just chopping it up here on this Thursday evening, 9:30 Eastern time start. So wanted to come on here and talk some Knicks, hit some of these comments. Have a feeling Randall's going to try and bully ball his team and tempers might get hot. That's something to watch, Jaden. Because, I don't know, watching Randall yesterday in the interviews and him just kind of like using this as just another game, I don't believe him. I think Julius Randle has been upset ever since he got traded. Look, I know he's been talking highly of Minnesota, and I'm sure he's going to play well. I mean, he's been okay there so far, and I'm wishing him nothing but success. But you know how these guys operate. You know how these, any little thing, they're going to bottle it up and use it as fuel. And Randall is one of those players. When he's angry, you know he plays well. And versus Karl-Anthony Towns, his numbers in his career, he always plays well against Cat. So it will be a fun matchup to watch. And I don't think tempers will flare because I just think everyone's professional. I hope it doesn't get to that point because I truly do think this will be a big Cat night. But hey, you never know. Randall can come in and spoil it. But I'm expecting those guys to ball out tonight. Appreciate you, Deuce. Thank you guys for hopping in here. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Pre-gaming. You know, this is fun. Just talking about this matchup. But let's take a look at this poll. All right, so 22 votes. Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Who do you think the X factor is tonight? I think the easy answer is Cat, right? I mean, you know that he's going to be dialed in for tonight. You know that he's going to want to stick it to his team, and but sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you got to have other guys to step up and do their job. And I think obviously this Knicks team has been led by their captain in these big wins. So I think Jalen Brunson is going to have a big game. But you know, the Timberwolves, the number one thing that teams have been with Jalen Brunson is they've been aggressive. They've been super aggressive. They pick him up full court. They foul him full court. No blood, no foul. It's been like that all season long. So Timberwolves are going to throw. I'm pretty sure they're going to throw Ant Edwards out on him for some parts of the game. And his name is escaping me. What's his name? It's on the Timberwolves. Why is his name Daniels, I think. I think it's Jan Daniels, right? Jaden Daniels. Yeah, they're going to have Jaden Daniels on Jalen Brunson. But to me, that can open up the floor for Mikal and OG Anunoby. I think those two guys are your X factors tonight. I think Wingstop has been playing well defensively lately, especially Mikal Bridges, right? So Mikal Bridges in the month of December has played extremely well for this basketball club. And I think it will carry over tonight. And just more of what we've been seeing from Mikal. And I think those two players will have a big game. I do. And I think the Knicks will feed off of that. And I think it will be a big Wingstop night. That's my prediction. Could be wrong. But I think Mikal's going to have another big one tonight because he's been playing well. Elite corner specialist. Playing better defensively. And the Knicks have options. If they start Precious Achiuwa, they could switch Precious on a lot of players. They could switch Precious and OG Anunoby. They could switch Precious and Mikal Bridges. So the more I think about it, the more I think they will go with Precious Achiuwa. Once again, I am waiting for any update on the Knicks starting lineup. Look at Cat, man. Just signing autographs down there and out there in Minnesota. Just heck of a human, man. Karl-Anthony Towns. Look, it's an emotional game for him, man. It is. Going back to Minnesota. And I'm excited for this one. I truly am. Everyone had this game circled on this calendar, and it's here. And look, I know Dante DiVincenzo really hasn't been playing well for Minnesota, right? But you know, Dante is going to have a big game tonight. You just know. So I already have it ingrained in my head that he's going to show up tonight. And look, if he does, so be it. But I'm just excited. I'm excited for this one. Keith says Julius Randle always plays well versus Karl-Anthony Towns. Yes. This game is going to be physical, Yuri says. Dis Rover. I think Dante will sneak on our team bus and hide in the cargo hold on the flight back to JFK. That's hilarious, this Rover. Yeah, you could tell Dante misses New York, misses his friends, but Knicks have, look, they moved on, and it stinks that he's playing this way, but, it's still early. I think he's shooting like 33% from three this year. It's bad, but I still think he could turn it around, but you got him sneaking on the bus, going to Westchester. That's hilarious. I think the Knicks fly to Westchester, by the way. This could be a Dante coming out party. You know it, Keith. You know it. Who is guarding Randall? OG? That's the thing, Keith. I mean, that's the thing, Jaden, excuse me. You can have, if you start Precious, you can have Precious guard Randall. You can have OG Anunoby guard Randall. You can, there's your answer. Either one of those guys can guard Julius Randle. And Karl-Anthony Towns can stay with Gobert. Gobert's not really a threat from three, from behind the arc. He's more of a rebounder, catching lobs, that type of stuff for them. So you start Precious. That's where I'm leaning. You can throw him on Julius Randle. And Jericho Sims will be your big coming in off the bench. And if Hukporti is with the team, if they called him up from Westchester, what I'm pretty sure they did, I think he's healthy. I think he would get some run too, but Sims is definitely going to get playing time tonight. And I want to see some rookie minutes. I truly do. I want to see some rookie minutes. So we just have to wait and see. But I the more I think about it, the more I think Precious is going to get the nod. Once again, I keep refreshing my timeline. Nothing official yet. So as I get the information, I will translate it to you guys and vice versa. If you guys get some information, hit me up in the chat. Jada says, I will say I haven't seen a player as much as Cat impact an organization on the human side in a while. Hats off to him. Jaden. That's why I'm so happy that he's one of us. What we've seen over these last pretty much couple of days out in Minnesota is Karl-Anthony Towns is truly cherished. And it's a testament to his impact, both on and off the court. I mean, I tweeted that exact same thing. So glad he's one of us. So glad he's on the Knicks. But you want people like that on your team. You do. And Spike Lee is with the Knicks right now, sitting courtside. He is in Minnesota. He made the trip to Minnesota. So, look, it's a big game, man. Would you say it's a big game? Like, it's Minnesota. It's a West Coast team. But I think with all of the news stories surrounding this game, Julius, Dante, Cat, I think it's going to be a fun one. But once again, Josh Hart is not playing tonight. If you're just joining us, Josh Hart is out with personal reasons. Hope all is well for Josh Hart. Hope just, whatever it is, whatever he's dealing with, hopefully he can get back on the court soon. But hopefully we get some news regarding what's really going on with that. So, but we just have to wait and see. The Wolf Perry says the report says McBride is starting. Wolf Perry, I don't think anything has come out yet. I know I saw someone earlier say that was on NBA.com that Deuce McBride was going to be in the starting lineup. But I think the right thing would be to start Precious because of the defensive matchups with Julius Randle. But the Knicks could go small. They could go small. OG, if OG is guarding Randle, who's going to guard Ant? Yeah, that's the thing. If you start Deuce, OG has to guard Randle. Right? Has to guard Randle. So Mikal Bridges will probably get the Anthony Edwards matchup. You start Precious, you can put him on Randle. You could put OG on Ant, and you can switch OG with Mikal on Ant, and it gives you more options. So you can go that route. So these are the things that the Knicks are haggling with, I'm sure. But I think it will be Precious. I want to say I'm like 80% sure it will be, but hey, you never know. You never know. Waiting on the lineup. Maybe Sims got a power up from his high school jersey retirement last night. Shout out to Jericho Sims, high school jersey retirement in Minnesota. The guys were out there supporting him. And Jalen Brunson, I think, gave a speech. So Jericho Sims got his high school jersey retired. That was pretty cool. Let me throw it up on the screen really quick. Number 20, Crest City, Cristo Rey High School. And you saw Jalen Brunson giving a speech. I want that hat, by the way, the Jalen Brunson hat. I want that hat, that beanie. It's a nice beanie from JB. But shout out to Sims. But he's going to be play. Look, Sims, it's all hands on deck, right? What you lose from Hart is pace, rebounding, and finishing. Josh Hart is one of the best finishers in the NBA around the rim. It's really remarkable how the rate that he finishes at the rim pushes the pace. He's another ball handler. So your offense will take a hit if you start Precious. It will. But I think you still have Brunson, Mikal, OG, and Cat to kind of figure your offense out. I think you still will be okay. But I think the Knicks should go more of a defensive route, bigger route, and start Precious on Jew. But you know Tom Thibodeau loves to start Deuce McBride with Jalen Brunson. But I think because of the Timberwolves' size in the front court, I think the right thing to do is to start Precious. But we just have to wait and see. 33 minutes till tip off. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Josh Hart is out for personal reasons, Khaled. We don't know what's going on with Hart. Hope all is well. It's personal. They're labeling it as personal reasons for Josh Hart. So hope all is well for Josh Hart. Keith says Brunson is really the guy that impacted this team. He's the team captain. What we've seen, Keith, is so far the Knicks go as our captain goes, right? As Jalen Brunson goes, as Jalen Brunson goes, the Knicks go. And in Orlando, Brunson in that fourth quarter, Orlando tried to bully him. And they poked the bear, and Brunson led the ship, and he willed us to a victory. And when Brunson plays like that with a chip on his shoulder, moving the ball, his assist numbers are up. He's going to be an all-star this year again. It's remarkable watching him do that. But he's averaging 7.7 assists per game. And Conley's averaging 4.7. So your job tonight, to me, is to limit Ant as much as possible. That's your job tonight. And that's a hard assignment. But if I'm going to give the Knicks that job tonight, I think they go Precious. Because Randall's going to want. Ant, first of all, Ant's going to want to try to get Randall his points early. Ant's going to want to, come on, Jew. This is the team that traded you. This is a team that traded you. Take it at them. Ant is wired like that. He's crazy. He's a superstar. He's crazy. So he's going to be chirping. He's going to be playing hard. So I think Ant and Jew are the two guys that will feed off one another tonight. And if the Knicks can limit then tonight is very winnable. But, to me, it's how Julius Randle and Dante react tonight. How do they play tonight? If you get the Dante that's been playing pretty much majority part of the season, I think he's only touched double digits in 2 games this season or 3 games. I mean, you sign up for that, right? But do you really think Dante is going to have 7 points tonight? I just don't see it. I see Dante giving them 15 off the bench. I do. Precious Achiuwa will start tonight. We were right. Precious Achiuwa is going to start tonight for your New York Knicks. That is just coming out right now. So pretty much what I was talking about is the Knicks decided to go bigger. That allows OG Anunoby to guard Anthony Edwards. That allows Precious Achiuwa to guard Julius Randle. And that allows Karl-Anthony Towns to kind of be you know, he's going to guard Rudy, but Rudy's limited offensively. So we were right. Precious Achiuwa is going to start tonight. Dibs is going with size against Minnesota, as he should. As he should. And I think this is the right move. I think having Precious in that starting lineup allows the Knicks to do a lot of things defensively, especially defensively. Offensively, look, Knicks aren't worried. You still got Deuce off the bench. You still got Campaign. You still got Jericho Sims that will play. If that's your three, Tom Thibodeau has been going 8-man rotation off the bench. If that's your three, so be it. I do want him to extend that to 9. So if that's Daddy A. Hukporti, I don't know. But he trusts Sims. So I think we will see some Jericho Sims minutes. He will be the first big off the bench. But Precious Achiuwa is starting tonight for your New York Knickerbockers. And I think that's the right move. That's the right move. So that's the news coming out. That was just tweeted from James. Oh, man, what's his name? James Edwards from The Athletic, Knicks reporter. Says Precious will start with Josh Hart out tonight. So should be good. Should be a good one. Karl-Anthony Towns' dad is there. Look at Cat, man. Look at Cat. I know you guys can't hear this video, but he's coming out to a rounding ovation. Like, Knicks fans are there. Timberwolves fans are there. People are cheering for him. You got signs everywhere. It's truly remarkable. It truly is. You rarely see this in the NBA, by the way. You rarely see this in the NBA. Usually people turn into villains. People turn into villains, man. But you love to see that. You love to see that. And I think it's going to be a great game for Cat, man. I think Cat is wired like, look, you traded me. All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what you're missing out on. I'm going to show you what you're missing out on. Yuri says, so what's the lineup? Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Precious Achiuwa, and Karl-Anthony Towns. That is your starting lineup tonight in about 30 minutes for your New York Knickerbockers. So the New York Knicks are going bigger. Still allows you to play great defensively. And I think they should play well defensively tonight, especially with Precious in there. So that is your starting lineup. Nothing really on the bench. You're just losing Precious. But Tom Thibodeau, I think, will go to Jericho Sims tonight. And, hey, Sims, going back to his pretty much played in high school in Minnesota. So maybe Sims plays well off the bench. These things matter. Going back to the place where you played for like many years ago, like you're comfortable, like OG Anunoby in Indiana. Like he went to school in Indiana, so he plays well in Indiana. These things matter. So maybe Jericho Sims comes in off the bench and just balls out. Just balls out. Cat might really get emotional in his welcome back video. He might, man. He might. I can't wait to watch that. See what the Timberwolves got cooked up for that. But it should be a fun one. It should be a fun one. Cat is just a good dude. He is. He is. I picked up Randall in my friend group fantasy league. I think this game is going to decide his trade value. That's the thing with these games, right? It's like this game is not going to define the trade. Obviously, I think the Knicks won the trade at the end of the day because you got Cat for, 4 more years. Randall's contract is up in the air. You have Timberwolves fans already. Like, I've seen it all. I've seen Timberwolves fans turn on Julius Randle already. Dante's struggling. I don't expect that to continue. But I think the Knicks won this trade. I do. But you're going to have people judge the trade off tonight. You are. And look, if Cat doesn't play well, and if Randle drops 35 and 15 and Dante comes in off the bench and lights it up, what are you going to see? On the national media, on X, you're going to see it all. Like, we should have never traded these guys. Like, you're going to see it. But you just can't judge that off of tonight's performance. I don't think that's going to happen. but you never know. It's the NBA. It's very fluent. Things change daily. But, if those guys ball out and our guy doesn't, you're going to see it. Same thing if Cat goes out there and drops 40 and 20 like he has been this season, and the Knicks just run away with this game. You're going to see the same thing. You're going to see, like, we should have never traded Karl-Anthony Towns from Timberwolves fans. But at the end of the day, I think the Knicks won this trade. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Knicks fan. When it first went down, I was very up in the air about it. But I now understand why the Knicks did it, because Cat is just such a talent, man. He is. We got more of an offensive power, but gave up our defensive. We gave up the thing that people are when you factor in Julius Randle and Dante, their toughness, yeah. But Randle was out for majority part of last year, right? And I know in January when we played Randle, it was clicking on all cylinders. And look, a part of me wanted to see the Knicks run that back. We're just human nature. A part of me wanted to see that. But Knicks, maybe they saw the writing on the wall. Maybe Julius Randle said, I'm not re-signing there, and I want out. And look, they did. They sold high on Dante DiVincenzo, and now look at Dante's stats. Not saying that's how he's going to continue to play, but I think the Knicks lost it's an identity shift. Last year, we were so great with the offensive rebounds, the loose balls, the second chance points, the last year's team, we fell in love with last year's team, right? And I think this year it's taken a bit of more time to, find this team's identity. And I think we're starting to find it, but it's just that last year's team, I think, was like New York, like the toughness aspect, we just fell in love with that team, and I'm starting to fall in love with this team. I am, but I think the loss of Hartenstein is bigger than the loss of Randle and Dante. I think that's the bigger loss, in my opinion. Obviously, Dante hurts, but we didn't see Randle in the playoffs. We didn't. And health is wealth, man. You got to stay on the court. Health is wealth. So appreciate every single one of you in here. 20 minutes until tip-off. 9:30 Eastern start. Just chopping it up. Knicks Nation preview, game preview. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Really appreciate that. Appreciate all of you giving me your time. Knicks, Timberwolves, Karl-Anthony Towns back in Minnesota for the first time. You already see him signing autographs and fans chanting his name. And, it's just fun to see that. And it should be a good one. Let's take a look at this updated poll. 36 votes. Who will be the Knicks X Factor tonight? Mikal Bridges is winning the poll. OG Anunoby with only 5% of the poll. Wow. Hey, we getting some Mikal love. And shout out to Mikal. He's been playing well. He's been playing extremely, extremely well in the month of December. And defensively, I thought the game versus Orlando was his most complete game of the season. And I thought if he just can play like that, you sign me the heck up, man. You sign me the heck up for that. But, of course, put some JB love in the chat. Put some JB love in the chat. Let me put some Leon the Don in the chat. Leon the Don. If the Knicks manage to win and Cat goes off, the Randle hate in Minnesota is going to be even more insane. Yeah. Look, I just want to win the game. Shenanigans aside, I know tonight's it's an emotional game. I know it's a big game. I just want to win. That's at the end of the day. I want to win. I want to play the Pelicans next. I want to win that game, and then I want to come home to the Spurs on Christmas Day, and I want to beat the Spurs. I just want to win. And if that's in dramatic fashion tonight, if that's in blowout fashion, great. But I just want to see how the guys respond, how they react to the atmosphere, because, it's going to be a lot of pro Karl-Anthony Towns fans in there. And it might be a little bit weird for Randall because, he wants to stick it to the Knicks. But, hey, like he said yesterday, he's 30 years old. It doesn't bother him. It's just another game. It could very well be just that. I mean, maybe Julius Randle is just looking at this like any other game. I don't believe that, but I guess we just have to wait and see in about 20 minutes to see if Randle balls out. To be honest, Randle probably wanted the bag, but the front office felt like they can get more from somebody else. Yeah, and look, Dante, the front office, Dante's replaceable, right? And I know it sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy just saying that because Dante was awesome for us last year. And I think he just played at such a high level for us last year that I don't think the Knicks thought that was sustainable. They once the Mikal Bridges trade happened, Dante was going to see less minutes. Dante wasn't going to play as much. And the Knicks looked at that. Like, you're only going to get 10, 15 minutes from Dante off the bench in a perfect world. And the Knicks looked at that and said, we're not going to get the same version of Dante because he's not going to be starting for us. So maybe that's, hey, I think they took everything into consideration. Michael, let's go Knicks. Interior defense needs to be spot on if we want to walk out of Timberwolf country. What's going on, Michael? I think prediction tonight, I think it's going to be a big Knicks win. I think that the Knicks are going to respond. I think that this Knicks team is, they're going to get up for this game. That doesn't mean that the Timberwolves are not, but I do think the Knicks will win tonight. And I think, look, the Josh Hart loss stinks. If you're just joining us, Hart is out. Precious Achiuwa is starting tonight for this Knicks team. So it will be fun. It will be, the atmosphere will be electric. But I just can't wait to see, what transpires. And it's a big game, man. It is. Because if you look at let's look at the standings really quick. Pull up the standings. Around the NBA really quick. OKC Orlando's pretty close, but all right, let's look at the standings. Knicks are third in the East, right? So we're third in the Eastern Conference. Buzzer Beater with the super chat. Appreciate you, Buzzer Beater. Always hopping in here, supporting. Appreciate you with the super chat. He says, can we catch Boston or Cleveland? When is Mitchell Robinson back? Appreciate the super chat, Buzzer Beater. As always, thank you for the support. I think we can. I think it's going to be, look, we're 5 games behind Boston. We're 6.5 behind Cleveland. I think we will catch, if there is a team, it's still December 19th. I think Cleveland will kind of take a step back here. But, look, they've been awesome all season long. I think Boston is still the top dog in the Eastern Conference. I don't believe in Cleveland. I know they've changed their coaching staff. I know that matters, but I just don't believe in Cleveland. I'm really confident in Cleveland at the end of the day. But I do think we can catch Cleveland. And you said, when is Mitchell Robinson coming back? The latest on Mitchell Robinson, Buzzer Beater, is that he is not going to be back till late January. That was from Shams Charania. He said at least late January. That's what he said. So we just have to wait and see with Mitchell Robinson. But maybe Mitchell Robinson just fixes our interior presence and our offensive rebounding. And maybe that's the next big trade deadline acquisition. You just trade for Mitchell Robinson. Like, you act like it's a trade. He comes in, whether you start him, whether you bring him in off the bench. You can cycle him, however you want, but he's important. He is. And with him, it's just always been health, right? It's just always been health with Mitchell Robinson. So we just got to hope for the best, and hopefully he comes back in time, and hopefully that he can get back and get healthy for our team. Yuri says, I say don't trade. Don't trade for Mitch. Don't trade Mitch. If the interior defense struggles tonight, Rose will be looking for a true big, a.k.a. Nike Richardson or Jonas Valanciunas. Yeah, I mean, look, if there's anything this Knicks team needs, I think it is another wing off the bench. I think it will be another bench piece, but I mean, we just have to wait and see regarding that. So, Buzzer Beater says, Anthony, should we be concerned with Milwaukee and Miami? Look, Buzzer Beater, the thing about Milwaukee, right? They've turned the corner, and they've been surprising me. They're 14-11. They just won the NBA Cup. They are 8-2 in their last 10. They've been winning against some lesser competition, but they just beat OKC in the Cup. And they're being led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's playing like an MVP. So your question is, should we be concerned with Milwaukee? I don't think so. I don't think that the Knicks should be concerned, but they are a team. Let's say the Knicks match up with them, let's say the Knicks match up with them in the first round. It will be a tough test, but I think, look, they're playing well right now. Regarding Miami, no, because Miami's trying to trade Jimmy Butler. So they're trying to obviously go in another direction, but Miami's always tough. They are. They can throw out like 5 G League players and they can all play a hell of a game. So I'm not concerned about Miami, though. I mean, this Knicks team should be able to compete with the best. And if we can get Mitch, that would just help us even more. Even more. All right, guys, let's look at this timeline. Let's see the update on the timeline. So Precious Achiuwa is starting tonight for this Knicks team. About 10 minutes till game time. So Josh Hart is out. Knicks fans are in Minnesota. Spike Lee is in Minnesota. Should be a fun game. Once again, I'm predicting a Knicks win, predicting a Knicks victory. I think Cat is good. It's going to be an emotional game, but it's going to be a hell of a game, and I cannot wait, and I can't wait to watch tonight. W emojis, yes, nostalgic. Nick Richardson is able to do what Jonas does. I think if we do trade Mitch, it's going to have to be for another defensive center. We can't depend on Cat. Or we could just play Hug Porty, man. I mean, we could just see what's in-house, right? Maybe the thing about Thibs is he gives these guys, 20 to 25 game sample size, and the NBA trading deadline is not until February 8th, I believe. But look, 16-10, right? You win tonight, you're 17-10. Then you got a winnable game in New Orleans, and you come home to San Antonio, then your schedule lightens up even more. So I would be focused on tonight and just take it day by day. But right now you're seeing positive signs. You're seeing Mikal Bridges start to play well. And Anobi's struggling with his shot, but I'm not concerned about that. Brunson is, playing like an all-star this year. And Karl-Anthony Towns is a top 5 MVP candidate. So no worries about that. Your bench is the only one. Look, you're dead last in the NBA bench scoring. That needs to improve. But on any given night, Deuce can get it going. Campaign brings his toughness off the bench. And tonight, you just have to rely on Sims. And maybe Daddy A gets in there and plays some of the game. But it should be fun, man. Should be fun. Yeah. Precious Achiuwa is starting tonight, Michael. That's the word. Precious Achiuwa is starting tonight. And should be fun. Just waiting to see if we have any more pictures coming out. All right, here's Spike. That's Spike Lee and Karl-Anthony Towns' pops right there. Orange and blue skies, man. We should win this one. Should be a fun one. We should win this one. Should be a fun one, but it is going to be a tough game. Guys, appreciate every single one of you that joined me here during this pregame. Enjoy the game. I'm going to be enjoying the game. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's go Knicks, man. Once again, thank you for giving me your time. Game is starting in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this pregame. This was fun. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. I'll catch you guys next time. Let's go Knicks. Let's get a dub. Peace.